Follow my make-ahead system from start to finish and you are going to end up with 8 thoughtful, custom holiday cookie boxes. If you're thinking, but I'm not a baker, or the math really intimidates me, or, but I don't have time for that, I have all the tips for you. First up, I want to give you my cookie box formula. This is tried and true. I have made holiday cookie boxes for years, and this is what works. There are 7 items, and while you can adjust them with your own recipes, the ones I'm showing you today that are all linked below, these work in a holiday cookie box. The formula is 7 total things. We're gonna have 4 cookies, 1 bark, 1 fudge, and 1 super fast and easy candy. The recipes I'm making today are a chocolate chip cookie. We're going to do a really fun festive sugar cookie. We're gonna throw in what I love to refer to as a millionaire bar. We're doing a jam thumbprint cookie. And then for the bark is a chocolate graham cracker bark with pistachios. It's so yummy and also super fast and easy to make. A walnut classic fudge, and then little mini candied Rolos. Now let's talk about supplies. This is a super important step and I want you to have all of your ducks in a row early on so that this is smooth sailing for you. In addition to all of the supplies you'll need for all of the treats you're going to make, which I'm sure you've guessed it, down below you're gonna find a free download shopping list that includes all the ingredients for all the treats we're making today. In addition to that, these are also some of the materials you're going to need. A box, some tissue paper, and then I like to tie them up with some twine. The box that I've got here that I think is the perfect size for anywhere between 12 to 24 cookies, depending on how many you're making. It'll fit with the ones we're making today. You're looking for an 8 by 8 inches by 4 inches tall box. And then we also have some tissue paper in here to help keep some of the cookies and treats separate and protected. And then I just love this twine to wrap around the box. It's all gonna come together. It's gonna be so adorable. Now let's talk about what we can make ahead. I want this to be a really fun project for you, not something that stresses you out, and getting ahead and doing things in advance is the way to do that. All right, so these 7 goodies that I have chosen for this holiday cookie box, I have made so many of these way in advance. Sometimes I will start my holiday cookie box prep as soon as 3 months in advance. And I have also had those years where it's a mad baking day the day before I'm giving them all, and it's just really fun. And it's a whole day of cooking. You choose your adventure, but if you're making ahead with me, this is what I recommend doing. When it comes to these treats that I've got in front of me, many of these can be baked totally and then frozen. So my recommendation is choose 1 treat to make a day. Whenever you're ready and you've got a little time in your day, an extra 30 minutes that you're ready to bust out your oven and get started on something sweet, choose 1 and then freeze it. For example, these thumbprint cookies freeze beautifully. I've done it before. Thumbprint cookies, make them all the way through as written and then freeze them. That can be done as soon as 3 months in advance. Our sugar cookies, which we're going to later dip into an icing, you can make and freeze these also in advance. I just recommend making them like this and then ice them closer to when you plan on gifting out your boxes. Our chocolate chip cookies. So you have a couple different ways that you can do these. The best way to make these chocolate chip cookies, and they are the best chocolate chip cookies, they're also naturally gluten-free, so you've got that, which is nice. The best way to make these is to make the dough and then let the dough rest and chill in the refrigerator. So I recommend go ahead and make your dough into these logs, and then you can either freeze them for up to 3 months in advance, or you can refrigerate them for a few days ahead of time, and then you just slice them into cookie rounds when you're ready for it. So the chocolate chip cookies come together even faster. That's such a great one to do in advance. This cookie bark, this graham cracker cookie bark, it has some swirls of almond butter, it has crushed pistachios on top of it, it has a little bit of sea salt. It is such a fan favorite. I love this bark so much, and I tell you what, I have made this and frozen it just as is. I will make several sheets of it and I'll line them with more parchment so I can stack them up, and I stick them in the freezer just like that until I'm ready to use them. And then when I'm ready again to serve it, that's when I'll break them up and put them into their boxes. Fudge. Did you know that you can make fudge in advance and freeze it? It's true. It does beautifully in the freezer for a couple months even. Make your fudge. This is just a very classic walnut fudge, and then freeze it, and then once it thaws, I like to let it thaw in my refrigerator so it thaws nice and slowly. Once it's soft enough to cut, then cut it into the slices, and it's ready for your cookie box. Millionaire bars. Oh gosh, these are so good. A millionaire bar has a shortbread cookie crust. It has a caramel topping on it. We essentially take condensed milk and caramelize it and pour that over the top. yum. And then some chocolate. I put some pecans on mine. We have some shredded coconut that we toasted on the top. This also can be made, and you guessed it, frozen just as is. I recommend doing that. Assemble it, freeze it, and you can freeze it for weeks, if not months in advance. And then when you're ready to assemble your boxes, pull it out of the freezer, let it thaw in the refrigerator overnight, and then cut them into nice, cute little squares ready for your box. Last but not least, I think every cookie box deserves some cutie little treat, just something really small and tiny that you can put a handful of in each and every box, so it's a fun, easy little snack, and it's easier on you to make. So these are Rolo pretzels. They're like so cute and so addictive. These are so delicious if you've never made them. You just line a sheet pan with pretzels, little pretzels, put a Rolo on each one, and then just put them in the oven just until they're melty enough to squish with another pretzel on the top. Let them cool in the refrigerator, and then you can just put a handful in each one, and you guessed it, they freeze pretty well. But because these are so fast and easy to make, I recommend making them a little closer to when you plan on gifting your boxes so that those pretzels still have a nice crunch. If you want to ship these, my recommendation on shipping this exact box is to use a medium priority box. It's a flat rate box. You can ship it anywhere in the country, at least right now, for $14. That's the way I would go. And I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget, linked below is your free holiday cookie box kit. I've got in there a full shopping list for all of these cookies. I have a template for the label, links to all the supplies that I use. And then if you want to get ahead on other holiday, check out the holiday prep video that I have for you on your screen right now.